The biggest problem with email today happens as a result of using your inbox as a task management system. Why? Well, this is primarily for two reasons. The first is that we don't assign time to do the things that are important. So we end up doing the easy stuff and procrastinating on the really big stuff. And this often results in being deadline driven and lurching from one panic station to the next. The second issue of keeping your actions in your inbox is that of multiple handling. When we keep our emails in our inbox with the intention that we'll get them done later, we've already fallen into the trap of multiple handling, which wastes your time and increases stress. So how do we prevent multiple handling on email and the negative impact that this habit has on our time and our stress levels? So rather than being a slave to the machine, how can we use it as a tool and put email back where it really belongs? Well, we need to have a framework to manage actions. Now, the framework that I'm going to show you is adapted from David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. It's called processing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this to email. So processing is more than checking and it's less than responding. It's actually making a decision. Now, we're talking about email, but this could and it should be applied to any incoming information or action, whether it's an email, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a request from another person. But let's just apply it to email in this example. When an email comes in, the first question to ask yourself is, do I need to do something? It's a pretty simple question. Email contains either actions to be done or information. So either way, it's either a yay or a nay. Now, if it's a nay, so the email simply contains information, then read and delete it or file it if you'll need the information again. If, on the other hand, you do need to do something, that is, the email has an action that you need to do, then you need to ask yourself, what's the next logical step that moves that action forward? For example, if I've got an issue with my car, then my next logical step is not to drive my car to the service station and get it fixed by the mechanic. My next logical step is actually make the phone call and book it in. So your next step is the next logical action that you need to take to move the project forward. And that's a pretty easy decision for about 99% of the emails, and it should only take you a fraction of a second and mental effort to decide on the next logical step. After you've decided what the next logical action is, you now need to decide how long that next logical step is going to take. Now, this is an important question to ask yourself, as it tells you what you're going to do with the action. Are you doing it now, or are you going to defer it? So you may get emails that involve projects that go for 6 months. Still ask yourself what the next logical step is and how long this next logical step is going to take. That helps to reduce multiple handling and close that decision loop, which can cause so much stress. There are a few rules of thumb to take into account. If the next logical step is less than 5 minutes, David Allen says 2 minutes, then just do it. It's not worth going into your system. If the next step is between 5 and 10 minutes, then add it to Outlook tasks, and we'll show you a very streamlined way to move it into tasks. The task list is best for short, brief actions that have a little bit of flexibility as to when you can do them. You can use a task list to give you reminders and suggested dates and times that you want to do things. If you don't want to perform the task on that specific day or time, you can just snooze the reminder and schedule the task for a later date. Next, if the action will take you 15 minutes or more, then it's worthy of your focused attention and it should be put into the calendar. Similarly, if it's a hard deadline, it should also go into your calendar. By budgeting your time into your calendar, what you're doing is you're making it more likely that you'll get the action done. So your calendar becomes a firm commitment and a visual record of the way that you're going to spend your time. Once you've put this action into your system, into your tasks or into your calendar, you then either file the email into your new folder structure that you set up previously, or you delete the email. The key step here is that we're separating again information from action. The action is going into a system, in this case our tasks and our calendar, and the information is going into a folder structure that we can find quickly. When you're emptying your inbox, I'd like you to have at least 4 action verbs uppermost in your mind. These are do now, defer to task, defer to calendar, and file or delete that email. Can you think of any other action verbs that you'd consider in your world of work? I can think of a few more. One would be when you want to delegate an action. Probably you have also emails that you're waiting to make a decision on. You're waiting for information to come your way before you make a decision. And there are probably emails that you want to talk about with others.